Donald Trump does not win, what do you do?
I hope that I'm going to die.
You want to die if Donald Trump doesn't win?
I do. I don't want to live like this anymore. You like our country the way it is now?
Hard for me to give credit to a person like Obama for all the reasons that I think are true about him that is not in the mainstream media.
Like what?
Him and his favorite beau, Michael. I'm sorry, I meant that Michelle. And I could go on. There's no sense in going further than that. All right.
I mean, his wife?
I mean the person that he cohabitates with, yes.
The mother of his two daughters?
Okay, say what you want, but I don't believe that for an instant either. I don't believe that Michael had any children.
Michael who?
One that you call Michelle Obama.
That's his wife. They were...
Okay, all right. I think we can suspend this conversation because I don't agree.
You don't agree with that's his wife?
I agree that's his mate.
No, I think they've been after him so long that all of this is just a witch hunt like he described it. I don't think there's anything Trump's done wrong. I think that the desperate opposition is just after him. I mean, they started out, and they've been after him 8 different ways, and they're going to keep after him until they can get him in jail, I think.
People can't see beyond this politicalization of the Justice Department. Then I would say they suffer from Trump derangement syndrome.
There are people that think that you suffer from it.
Yeah, but they don't have an argument. They just don't like Trump.
If Trump were to lose for the second time, what would you think the reset would have to be for Republicans?
I would say things would get so bad it'll be almost in a communist type of zone to where we may not even be able to farm anymore.
What are people not talking about that they should?
They're not talking about our worldview. Everybody's laughing at America because we have the weakest president we've ever had in the history. He likes everybody but America. Because he's crooked, he's gotten a lot of money, millions over the years with his son Hunter. But the thing of it is, Russia, China, everybody's laughing because we have no strength. We are not the America of 10 years ago.
Would you ever date a Democrat?
Hell no.
How come? What if she was just the greatest girl, the kindest, nicest, beautiful, had the same sort of social values as you, but she voted for Democrat?
Maybe date her, but I couldn't marry and live with her. It's too much.
What does woke mean?
Woke means, to me, it's like policies and in the schools and companies that are forcing people basically to just go along with the tide. When a lot of people don't even want it, but they're just doing it because they don't want to fight.
So like LGBTQ rights, is that forcing people to...
Not rights. I mean, like I said, everybody should have rights, but it's really being forced upon children in schools, like the things that are being taught to them. Like they're having, parents don't have rights anymore. Like the rights of parents are being diminished, and the rights of the government and the school system are being expanded. And so our kids are in danger. I mean, kids are getting mutilated and making choices like, if you had a 10-year-old kid, would you let them get a tattoo? Would you be like, yeah, you think you should get a tattoo? Yeah, sure, get a tattoo on both arms. No, you wouldn't do that, but we're letting kids decide at young teens and young 12-year-olds that change your life forever, cut off your body parts.
The gender reassignment, if that's what you're...
Yeah, just all those things. Those things should not be encouraged in kids.
But I don't think she'd pass the physical to be a man, or to be a woman. I'm sorry, be a woman.
What gives you that thought?
I have lots of reason to believe that.
Do you think Melania Trump is a man?
No.
Why would you think Michelle Obama's a man? I'm genuinely curious.
Well, do a little research. Just do a little research.
But that's out there.
What's out there is the fact that her walking out in a skirt, and there's an obvious bulge where there shouldn't be one, and it's not contained. Dancing on the stage with Ellen DeGeneres, there's an obvious disparity in her gender.
They went after Richard Nixon, they went after Bill Clinton, and now the courts in several different states are finding different things about Trump. Is there anything that could happen with him indictment-wise that would say, all right, maybe this disqualifies him for president?
Not for me. I'm with him to the finish.
All right, thank you so much.
He could stand on the front steps of the White House and commit murder, and I'm with him.
Explain that to me. That's amazing. I mean,
Look, he's the only man we've ever had in my lifetime that stood for America as president. Now, I was a George Herbert Walker Bush man and all that, but they don't anybody compare to Donald Trump. He loves this country, and that's why I love him.
But I'm going to push back a little bit because, and you're, I'm guessing, a couple of months older than me, but I'm going to say that, you know, looking back at some presidents like Eisenhower, like LBJ, like Gerald Ford, like, you know, Reagan, Bush, who you mentioned, what about them didn't stand for America in the same way that Trump does?
You know, I think it's got to do with the times we're living in. America's being assaulted. Open borders, you know all the issues. We all know the issues. And nobody stood under the attack that Trump stood under. And look what he's done. He's hanging in there. He's for us. He loves this country. And I'm going to support him to the end. I hope he wins. We need him.
Last question for you, because then you got to go in. What would he have done differently than President Biden that would have made you think that that he would have been a better president?
President Biden, you know, Biden to me, if he had not been a career politician, he might have been better, but he's lived in Washington all his life. I think we need term limits. I think we need to stop all these old people from running Washington, D.C. It's corrupt.
Well, the old people, I mean, Trump isn't, there's not a huge difference in age.
Yeah, I should rephrase that. The old people that's been in Washington all their life.
If you said, look, here's...
Say one nice thing about Joe Biden to me.
I can't.
Right, so you just don't like Biden.
Oh, because I've looked at Biden when he was... He's just totally corrupt. How can you look beyond the corruption to say that this man could be a statesman representing the United States? You know, the whole issue of his getting the millions of dollars with Hunter Biden, the media didn't cover that at all. Why?